How you guys doing? Eugene Johnson here, founder of Make Your Mind an Asset, with another episode. And today's episode, what I want to talk about the 3 pillars of success. And what does success mean to you? First, let's start there, because a lot of times people automatically think when I say success, I mean money. Let me help you understand this, because this is important. Listen up. This is important. Here's why. It's because it's not about money. Success is not, get that out of your head. Success is not about money. Flames, right? Success is not about money, right? I mean, maybe I gotta make it a huge picture, a huge banner, and have a big light over their head and say success is not about money, because a lot of times people get it misconstrued. They think that when I say success, I automatically mean I'm talking about getting rich. It's not about that. Look, there's some successful men of the cloth out there. There's some successful teachers out there. There's some successful guidance counselors, some successful social workers. I mean, you can be successful and not be rich, right? It's all about understanding what is your definition of success. And my definition of success is if you're taking the necessary actions that will allow you to live the lifestyle that you feel like you've been called to live, you are successful. And that's what it's all about, right? So here's the 3 major pillars to success. Pillar number 1 is you have a clear, defined goal. You know exactly where you want to go. It's got to be clearly defined. You got to understand step by step what process you need to take on in order to get you to where you want to go. So take the time, if you haven't already, look at where you want to be 5 years from now. If you've been around me long enough, you know I always say the same thing. Dial it back. Where you want to be 5 years from now, dial it back. 1 year. What do you need to do this year to get to your 5-year goal? Dial it back. What do you need to do in the next 90 days to get your 1-year goal? Dial it back and continue dial it back until you find out what you need to do today to get to your week goal. You've got to have clarified goals in order to move forward and create success. That's the first pillar. The second pillar is you got to put the activity necessary to create that success. So if you know you have clarified goals, you got to put the activities in place in your calendar. Fill your calendar up with the right activities that's going to lead you to actually living the lifestyle success that you choose. So let's just say you want to be a teacher, but you're still in college or you're still in high school. You know the steps that you need to take. You got to go to college. Maybe you want to be a professor, so maybe you have to go to an Ivy League college, or maybe you want to be a math teacher, so you have to go to specific college like MIT, or maybe, whatever the case may be, you got to have your specific route to getting to your goal, and you got to fill your calendar and say, here's what I'm going to do today to get me closer to my goal. Here's the activity that I'm going to put forth. So you've got to have the proper activity. And then the third thing is you can't quit. You can't quit. You can't give up on your goal. Now, you might shift, you might pivot, you might make some iterations, but you'll never give up on your goal, because a lot of times people misunderstand quitting for shifting. And this is something that I feel like I'm the only one talking about it, so I have to hit this point. There's a difference between whether you quit and whether you shift. If you're going to MIT and you feel like, hey, MIT's not the school for me, so I'm going to go to Harvard, then you shifted. You didn't quit on your goal of becoming a math teacher. You just decided that Harvard would be the best path. After your knowledge of going through the process of MIT, you realized that Harvard would be your best path to creating success. So you went to Harvard instead. You did not quit on your goal. So don't get afraid, because this is, so many people lock themselves into a journey and they say, I can't quit, I can't quit, I can't quit. And they're going down the path that's not meant for them to go down, and they realize that it's not working for them. If you're there 1, 2, 5, 7, 8 years and you realizing that this is not working, you've got to make a change. Jim Rohn said, you could wait one week or 1 day, but you can't wait 10 years before you actually say, hey, I'm going down the wrong road. You got to plan, you got to do, and then you got to review and see, where am I at? And don't quit though. Don't quit. Even if you're in the wrong place. Let's say 10 years from now, you went down the path, you realize, hey, this wasn't the best path for me. I need to go to Harvard instead of MIT. Okay, great. Move over to Harvard, but don't quit. Don't go and say, man, I wasted 10 years. You did not waste 10 years. What you did was you gained a ton of knowledge, you gained a ton of wisdom, and you're going to get a chance to use that, and that, because you have that, it's going to expedite when you get over to the next place. So don't quit because you hit a roadblock. Let that roadblock, look at it, realize it for what it is, and decide to move past it. That's it. It's just an obstacle. And we all gonna face obstacles, but if you hit that obstacle in the right way, you'll create the right level of success. So, what are those 3 things that we talked about again? Number 1, you've got to make sure that you have a clarified goal. A clarified goal for where you want to go, piece by piece, and if you haven't had a time, 5-year vision and track it back. Number 2, you've got to make sure that you have activity planned out on a consistent basis. You've planned out your activity. And number 3, you can't quit. You can't give up. You might have to shift, but you can't give up on your goals. Your goals, your visions, your dreams, they're for you. Don't let anybody talk you out of it. Don't let anybody tell you you're doing the wrong thing. If you know in your heart that you're going in the right direction, you got to keep moving forward. Regardless of the naysayers and the people who say what they want to say and kind of tell you that you can and can't do. One thing I love about this, and I'll end this here. Stephen Curry, in 2009 when he was drafted, people said he was too small. People said that he needed to improve his basketball handle. People said that he was too weak. He wasn't strong enough to be in the NBA. Guess what? 2015, he took his team to the championship and had the MVP of the league in the NBA. So what does that say? That says that people are gonna talk, but if you know what your vision is and you know what your purpose is, you let the talkers talk. You let the angry birds be angry, right? If you ever play that game Angry Bird, the only goal is for that bird to knock down your building. Don't let the bird knock down your building. Don't let the haters demotivate you. Let them motivate you. Let them drive you to your success. That's what I have for you today. I'm excited. I appreciate you taking the time to listen to this video. And what I would say is, if you haven't already, make sure you subscribe. Subscribe to our channel, man. Make sure that you subscribe so we can keep giving you this content. Send me your questions because I'm excited to get a chance to do some question and answer shows and really answer some questions of people who have business questions, mindset questions, success questions, whatever you got. Send it over here. I'm not a counselor though, so don't send me marriage questions. Or maybe I can help you out with that. I don't know. But hey, subscribe if you haven't subscribed. Remember, let no man steal your vision because no man gave it to you. You ever looked at your wife engaging and said, baby, I love you? And she said, thank you. I love you too. Let me ask you a question. Do I look fat? Whoa!